Some of you might be wondering now, sitting in the audience, how do you speak at an international conference? How do you become a speaker at an international conference? I believe it's pretty simple. I had a dream 2 years ago to achieve it, and let me share my story, my small example, how I did it. I think it's very easy. You have to follow 4 simple steps to do it. Yeah, and everybody, or most of you in the audience, can do it pretty easily. The first thing you have to do, you have to find your courage. You have to find courage to leave your comfort zone, to get out of the audience, stand up, stand here in front of 300 people, or sometimes maybe less, maybe more. It's not easy, I admit, but I believe that when you are stepping out of your control zone, miracles happen. Let me share you my small story about me getting out of my control, my safety zone. 1 year ago, after the second edition of AgileByExample, I had some experience in speaking in conferences. I gave a few talks, some were bad, some were better. But 1 year ago, after AgileByExample and after Agile Eastern Europe, that I was also speaking at, I decided that I want to be really good. I want to become really good at it. And I thought, as my next conference was approaching in December last year, I thought, what is the one single thing I can do to improve or to give a really good presentation? And I thought I can rehearse. The one thing I can do preparing for this conference, I can rehearse in front of real people. Of course, before I rehearsed, but I didn't rehearse in front of real people. And I thought I can ask my friends at the company to help. And if you know us, we are really cynical, we are smart asses, and we destroy people who give talks, internal talks. We destroy the presentations completely. And I knew I was going to be destroyed. But I asked them anyway to give me feedback. I thought that only through pain I can come to greatness or improve a little bit. And I did ask them for help, and they gave me feedback. I was destroyed. But you know what? A few weeks later, the presentation I gave was my best presentation in my life. For the first time, I was awarded the best presentation of the conference, which was a great achievement for me. I did a better presentation than some of our speakers from this conference, and I even did just by a little bit was better than one of keynotes from our keynotes here. I was really proud of myself, and I believe it could only happen because I decided to step out of my controls, of my safety zone or comfort zone, and ask them for help, go through pain. The first thing you have to do, find your courage to do it. The second thing you have to do is you have to prepare your content. When you want to become a speaker at a conference, you have to, probably at the beginning, you will have to submit a title in a call for papers. And in the call for papers process, you submit title and abstract, 2 things. Very short amount of content you can present to make others accept you or not. And it wasn't that hard for me. I spent 1 or 2 evenings. I asked my wife for help and friends, and I thought about my experiences, my stories, and I coined killer topics. At least I thought they were killer titles and killer abstracts. And if you want them to be accepted, they must be killers. They must stand out. And I'm certain, I bet any money, that you guys also have stories that you can turn into killer stuff. Very often I hear from people at our company, oh, we don't have anything interesting to say, we don't have any standing out experiences or so on. And I think it's bullshit. Everybody has interesting stories. To prove that, I started a small experiment back at my company. I asked all the teams that we have to make a short presentation about their project, their customer, the product they are building, technologies, just so that we can get to know better in the company. And right now we are halfway through this project, so maybe 10, 15 teams have have given their short presentations. We are given one or two every week during our breakfast on Thursdays. Every Thursday we are having internal breakfast when everybody's invited, and we talk about different stuff. And you know what? Every single team had a story to tell. Some were sad stories, some were funny stories, but everybody had a story. And I bet any money that you as well have your stories to tell. And the second step you have to take is you have to turn those stories to killer titles and killer abstracts. When you have these, the third step you have to do or take is the easiest one. You have to broadcast. You have your content, you have to broadcast it. You have to let others know. This is the easiest one. And what I did is I used work of that Jürgen Appello that has just arrived. He started Agile in Europe network. I went to their website and I found every single Agile conference happening in Europe in the following few months. And I submitted my killer titles and killer abstracts to all of them. I just found when the call for papers process starts, when it finishes, how to participate, and I spammed them all. And you know what? Some of them accepted. That just simple step. It took 1 day or so just to find everything. But I believe that these three, they are not enough. There is a fourth step you have to do. You have to earn a little bit of credibility before you can get accepted. And the best way to start earning your credibility, I believe, is to use your local Agile, Java, whatever programming community, or maybe some other community you have. If you don't know what your local community that you might be interested in is, then what I recommend doing is just go to AgileByExample.com, go to the bottom of the page, and you will have our community partners. Find something. If you live in Poland, find one of those. Probably it will be in your city if you are living in one of the largest cities in Poland. I did it for almost 4 years ago when I was thinking about this short talk. I thought, oh, it's 4 years ago. I sent an email to Marek and Mateusz, who are leaders of Agile Warsaw, and I just asked them, can I give a talk? And they said, we don't have anyone else so why not? And few months later, I sent another email to them, and I asked, maybe I can talk again. And they said, we still don't have anyone better. Okay, let's do it again. So I started to earn a little bit of credibility. I think maybe some of you from Warsaw happen to know me now. Before I finish, before I wrap up, there's one disclaimer I want to make. It will happen that you will give a bad presentation even before you will give a good one. It's a skill like anyone else, and you have to practice to become really good at it. And it happened for me. It happened last year. At Confitura, maybe you heard about this Open Java conference, a large one for 800 developers, more or less. I gave a very good presentation. It was at least it was rated really good. It wasn't the best, but it was really close. And 3 months later, at AgileByExample 2012, I gave almost the same presentation at coined, or maybe a little bit tuned up, I thought improved, and it was ruined by your reviews. So I got really bad reviews, ratings, and so on. So I felt I was really miserable after that, but I thought, well, it must happen. It must happen to the best. So I'm not the best. So it must happen to me all the time. It will happen to me all the time. Just don't let it discourage you. Wrapping up, 4 things to do. First, find your courage to step out of your comfort zone. Then prepare your content, broadcast your content, and finally earn a little bit of credibility. Piece of cake. Just do it.